Now we've added significant noise to the environment. As you can see here, almost 83 decibels of noise. What we're going to be doing is we're going to switch over to the headset. We're going to stay quiet to see how much is canceled, and then we'll continue with the audio test. Let's go to switch. Now, if you benefit from working in a hybrid environment, meaning that part of your time is in the office and part of your time is in your home, then having great call quality is important to you. You want to have that same level of professional audio that you have in the office when you're in your home. And let's face it, that can make the difference between you still maintaining that hybrid experience. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the Yealink HA64 Pro. These are headphones that are professional grade that are going to give you, again, that hybrid experience without sacrificing audio quality. It will work with Teams, Zoom. Literally, people are going to think you're in the office because of how good it sounds. More importantly, it's going to mask all those noises that we're subject to at home. Dogs barking, if you think about children crying, if you think about the doorbell ringing, all that stuff should be masked. And in today's video, we'll do an EBPMAN call quality test to make sure it does. So let's get right to it. Now, from a performance perspective, the HA64 Pros have great specs. And you're going to have different types of battery life depending on your use case. So for example, if you're using the Bluetooth connectivity, let's say you're going directly to your phone or to your laptop and using the Bluetooth side, then what ends up happening is you're going to see about 26 hours of usage. If you are using the actual base, right, when you connecting to the base and not using Bluetooth, because that base is, let's say, connected to your phone, what will happen is you'll get around 16 hours. In either case, what you're looking for or looking at literally is a full day of usage easily, even up to 2 days. When I look at these time frames, the 26 and the 16 hours, the other thing you have to take into account is that when you're done using the actual headphone, the likelihood of you putting it in the base is high. Matter of fact, I found that my behavior, at least the way I use it, is once I was done on a call, I wouldn't wear it. I would take it off and I put it on the base, and then it was always going to be topped off or would get topped off really quick. Now, let's say you don't do that, and let's say you just leave it on your desk, your office, or take it with you to the bedroom, whatever the situation is. You get 157 hours of standby time. That's pretty good. From a charging perspective, you get 1.5 hours to fully charge. But like I said, in my case, I'm not leaving it fully uncharged or get to the point where it's depleted because I'm always putting it back in the base as soon as I'm done. Now, from a Bluetooth perspective, you're going to get some great Bluetooth range. And this is what it translates to, right? 164 feet. And that means that when you go, let's say from your office, you got to go get a coffee. Or from your office, you have to go, somewhere else in your home. Yeah, sometimes even you have to go to the bathroom on a mute. Wherever you go, you'll be able to cover it. That's going to cover your home. Now, if you have it connected via that base, right, that gets connected to your laptop, you're looking at 600 feet. 600 feet. That is crazy, right? That means driveway. That means you can go get the mail. Even with the 164, I'm able to get out of my office. I'm able to go to the mailbox, come back, and still have a connection, right? If you are using a Bluetooth phone, let's face it, if you have your phone, for example, with you, and had the light on there, if you use your phone, for example, something like this, what you're going to end up doing is keeping it in your pocket anyway. So you're going to be connected at all times. Now, it has 3 AI noise canceling mics that we're going to see how well they test out in our test. They have Teams integration, and literally you'll see a Teams icon. If you use Teams in your office, when you have this connected to your laptop, you'll see the Teams icon and you'll be able to have really tight integration with Teams. But don't worry, if you're using other solutions, it also supports them as well. So if you think about all the Office products, Avaya, if you think about Google Meets, WebEx, Zoom, they all work fine with this, but it has a really tight integration with Teams. So if you use Teams, this is also going to be great, but frankly, if you're using anything else, it's going to work as well. It has a 3.5-inch touchscreen, and that touchscreen is going to give you access to call controls, device settings, volume adjustments, and all these different functional controls that you're going to be able to take place. So a lot of connectivity as well that takes place inside of that. Now in the box, you can have a lot of accessories. First of all, you have the headset, and this comes in 2 styles. It comes with 2 earpieces, or it comes with a single. I have a single earpiece here, and we'll set this aside. USB cable, micro USB cables, you have that. You have a little travel pouch if you bring it with you. This is a occupied or I'm busy light. I think you'd probably use this in your office. And frankly, you know what? This actually works even at home. So this basically lights up when you're on the call. I found that at times my wife will come in on a call and she says, to start talking, not realizing that I'm on a call because I'm wearing a headset. So this will work even for your home, right? So this is a great little call indicator that you could use, and highly recommend it, especially if you have kids. You have a partner in your home that may want to talk to you, and you don't want to be interrupted while you're on a conference call. So that's a good option there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the headset for a little bit. I'm going to move this stuff out of camera area so we can focus on these things. And a couple things. First of all, you'll see that the headset does have really nice play. So this is going to be able to work on either side, right? You have, buttons for power, for volume. You have also here the Bluetooth power, USB-C, again, charging, your charging port right there as well. And you'll notice that it does flip side to side. Now, this is an on-ear model, so it's not a cone that goes over your ear. It's one that goes on your ear. And what that means is you risk overheating your ear if you were using other headsets, right, that I've used. I didn't find that with this, though, and I just wanted to highlight that. So typically what I find is that, and let me show you what I'm talking about. When this rests right on your ear, you can see how it rests on it. It's not over it. It's almost like a pillow, right? It doesn't really give a lot of pressure, first of all, but I also found that it remains cool, right? I don't know what type of material it has, but it stays cool. And like literally right now, it still feels really cool as it's on my ear. That's important to me because if I overheat, what I end up doing is one of these. Let me show you. I have my headphone on, and then I end up doing one of these, right? So it's not on the ear anymore. Let's see if you can see that. So here's the ear, right? And I move it forward because it just gets too hot. And this is not a good look either. But this is what you're talking about, and you'll see it just rests right on top of it, right? And then as you're on a call, you could do this, right? So you have those functions. And then what you also can do is if you're using it on this side, so let's say put on your other ear, then you can just move it forward like that, right? So it's going to work on either side. So this is going to be a cool feature. It also has some controls here as well that you can activate. And you can see here some of the functions where you can answer calls and things of that nature. So that's pretty nice. Now, the actual base itself has a lot of capabilities as well. So as we look at this, you'll notice that indicates that you're, first of all, that there's power, battery level, the headset, you have status, right? So it tells you all the information about the product ID, the hardware firmware. This gets upgraded as you're connected into the PC, right? So that's something that could happen. You have settings here. So you have basic settings. And let me just show you some of the things that you have here. So you have general, when it comes to language, you can add a headset, auto sleep, date and time. You have your display, right? If it's backlight and if there's a screensaver, sound settings, voice guidance, all these nice little things. Wearing preference right here, arm on the right side, arm on the left side, which you saw me do. And then if you have second device audio, and let's see if there's anything else here that you like to see. Okay, and then you have the PC soft phone, which is something that in corporate workspace you may have as well, especially if you're a remote worker, right? So that's something that you have, and then you have the desk phone. So a lot of capabilities that you can program. And again, if I was connected via Teams, I would see the team icon here as well. So really good choices. Let's go ahead and check out the call quality. Now next we're going to do a call quality test of the Yealink HA64 Pros in a quiet environment. If we take a look at our decibel readings, around 34 decibels of noise in this quiet environment. Let's go ahead and switch. This is what the Yealink HA64 Pros will sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Let's go ahead and add some wind. Now this is what the HA64 Pros would sound like with wind in the environment. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now we've added significant noise to the environment. As you can see here, almost 83 decibels of noise. What we're going to be doing is we're going to switch over to the headset. We're going to stay quiet to see how much is canceled, and then we'll continue with the audio test. Let's go to switch. Now this is what the HA64 Pros would sound like in a noisy environment. This is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now if you're wondering what they sound like with an infant crying in the background, this is what they sound like with an infant crying. Now if you're wondering what they sound like with the dog barking in the background, this is what they sound like with the dog barking. Now if you're wondering what they sound like with the doorbell ringing, this is what they sound like with the doorbell ringing. Now one other feature I wanted to highlight with these is that they have auto mute. So I'm going to continue to talk, and I just want to show you that as I raise the actual arm up, it's going to go on mute. So I'm going to say, this is a test, 1, 2, 3. This is our test, 1, 2, 3. This is a test. And so you should have heard, or you should have heard nothing for a couple seconds, and then you would have heard me come back. This is the test, 1, 2, 3. So
So far, what I can tell is that the audio quality is pretty spectacular, but we're going to see once we process this video.
So guys, I highly recommend these. They have great call quality. They pass all our tests. You can use them to listen to music. You can listen audiobooks as you're doing work, and they have great home office as well as corporate office integration. See you in the next video.